All right, guys, another day, another part of the journey. Um, Frustrating day for me because um, I just kind of took a bad trade after I was up, and it just kind of put me just right around break even, just slightly green for the day. But it's just a trade that I know not to take, but it's just the frustration of kind of getting break even stopped on a few trades. So going into the day pretty bearish because of this big move down. We were invalidating all of the bullish fair value gaps on the way down. We were invalidating all of them on the 1 hour. We were just disrespecting all of it, so I was pretty bearish, and I knew we needed a retracement down to these lows here. So this is where I was expecting price to draw. But going into the morning, even though I was bearish, I saw this big fair value gap get created off open, and my first trade was this inverse fair value gap right here. Stop, go to break even here. I took some profit at this high, which was about a 1-to-1, and then got stopped on my runners, which is fine. That's an all right trade. This is a valid spot to go break even. A valid spot to take first profit because you're not expecting the run straight up, even though we are bearish. But since we inverse this move, and we had taken out all of these lows here, so we had swept out all the lows. Let's see, we had swept out the Asia lows from 2 days ago, which isn't the most important thing ever, but we did sweep out those lows. We did have an SMT at that time, and we did inverse this, so I like this long. That's a good setup. I would have loved this thing to just play out perfectly, but it didn't. We then start selling off. There were some sell models, but I didn't like any of them because we're not delivering from any fair value gap here, and we don't have any higher time frame fair value gap besides this 15-minute here, which I don't really care for. But I was waiting for this 30-minute gap to get filled, and then eventually we opened the 1 hour gap, and it just never did. So this move here, when this 5-minute broke, it kind of just ran without me, which is fine, which is cool. It came out and took this low. Nothing I could really do there. There's no real entry for me that I liked because, again, we didn't sweep any liquidity. We didn't even reach equilibrium of this move down at all, and we especially didn't reach equilibrium this move down. So for me, I'm fine missing the short. When we came down, we hit this low. And when we inversed this, I jumped in long, and I think I just got out really quick because I was looking away for a second, maybe at ES, and then when I looked back, it was here closed. So I jumped in. I was a little bit flustered from that, which is no excuse for managing it bad. But then when the candle started moving up, I just kind of closed the position because I was kind of flustered with my entry just because I wasn't, not that I wasn't paying attention to trading. I wasn't like doing something else. I think I was looking at ES, and then it closed, and I wasn't paying attention to the close, and I just had a weird entry. I just didn't really feel right, so I got out quick, and which is a mistake. But I would have probably taken profit out of 1-to-1. And the reason why on this trade I would have taken profit around here on this candle anyways, and got stopped out at break even, which is unfortunate. But the reason I would do that is because we just had a massive sell-off. Who's to say that we're not just going to come here and then retrace, take the low again to then push up, right? Because a lot of times after a big sell-off, you get a manipulation leg to then go to equilibrium. Maybe you keep going, maybe you come down, but you typically see equilibrium of this move down, which we end up seeing here. We do see equilibrium, which was the idea behind this trade, but I like to take aggressive profits on this inverse because who's to say that the first move will be the move? So that one is a decent trade too. And at this point, I shouldn't have been looking for shorts, but I got a little bit greedy after seeing the move up, down, and was really hungry to catch a short because I was thinking that because we've been selling off, that maybe we keep selling off, and I just wanted to get a piece of a trade that wasn't really mine. This was my mistake and why I'm kind of frustrated on the day, is because it's just not a great trade at all. I shorted this inverse for value gap on the 2-minute. It's just not a great trade. I have in the past a lot of experience with 15-minute to 2-minute inverses working really well, so I kind of just used that past bias to take this trade, and I got stopped out instantly and lost pretty much all my profits for the day. which is a little bit demotivating, a little bit disheartening, and why I'm kind of monotone today is a little bit frustrating, because it's not a great trade. This trade would have been great. I would have loved this trade if we hadn't taken this low. But after taking this low, we've taken sell side liquidity. There's no reason for price to go lower. We don't have any structure validating that we want lower. Until we displace through this low, I have no reason to be targeting shorts. This was just a greedy trade. I thought, you know what, we're in equilibrium almost of this range down. We are equilibrium this range. I was like, maybe we're in equilibrium of the whole move of the day. Pretty close. I was like, you know what, 15 minute, we're kind of rejecting. I think this will go good. I'll probably be able to get break even. Maybe I can make something. So I think I was way too over eager to catch a short, and this trade is just a stab. It's a random stab at price. It's wanting to be right, wanting to take a winner, and just kind of guessing where price is going to go more than getting valid structure to validate it. So although I'm glad to be able to identify the mistake and why that trade went wrong and why I could avoid that trade, it is frustrating to still take it. But that's the way you have to draw the line of when you take a loss, right? I can take a loss and look at it and be like, okay, this wasn't a good trade. This is what I did wrong. This is what we can learn from it. But it doesn't mean that the loss doesn't still suck, because it does suck. It's very frustrating to give up a decent day. It's very frustrating to give up a decent day of profit just on some bad trade where I kind of get greedy and just kind of guessing where prices wants to go. And that's one of my biggest rules. I have it written down somewhere. It is, where is it? I'm not allowed to scout based on feeling price will go higher / lower. Can only trade valid setups. So basically, in other words, I don't like the trade setups where I just, I have a feeling like this is going to work, or I think this will work, right? This trade was just a feeling that we were going to go short from here. There's no valid reason to go short. We had taken sell side liquidity. We needed to build more structure. We haven't displaced through any lows. There was no reason besides a bigger time frame fair value gap and an inverse. That is not a good setup. That's not what I want to be taking. I just let it get the better of me, which is fine. It's just another day, a mistake. You move from it as long as you don't blow up your account, do anything stupid, which I'm glad I didn't just throw the rest of my account away and just do bad. So I am getting better with the psychology slowly. I'm still making mistakes, still doing bad stuff, but I'm slowly getting better from where I was. I'm not doing as bad of things. I'm making improvement on that front. So even though I still make mistakes, I still have bad days, I'm still improving. I'm still happy with the progress. I've got to not lose focus of the progress I am making, right? Because this mistake a while ago could have destroyed me. It could have made me blow up my account. It could have done a lot of things. So even though I am frustrated, I do feel down about this trade. I recognize the mistake, and I recognize my emotions and why I took it and why I shouldn't try and make back that loss and everything like that. And able to just be a lot more calm overall, even though, like I keep saying, I am frustrated with it because it sucks to lose, and it sucks to lose on a trade that you shouldn't really take. And I just wish I capitalized more on the valid setups today. But the last thing I want to talk about is just how I'm feeling in terms of my funded account. I am currently about 1,500-ish. Let's see. I am currently 1,400. Let's just say 1,600. Let's just say $1,700 away from passing my funded, which I'm not technically even halfway, but I'm pretty close to halfway, about $150. So like one decent trade away from halfway to the funded account. And what I've been struggling with is that I want to pass the account so badly with 5 micros because I just want to pass an account so badly because I've never been able to do it yet, and it's just kind of like a mental barrier. It's like once I can pass it, I know it's not going to change anything. I'm not going to make money instantly, but it just makes me feel like I've made progress, and that psychological barrier of never being able to pass a funded is almost holding me back mentally because I'll take a trade and I don't want to go negative on the trade because I'm up on my account and I want to keep growing my account and I want to hit the $3,000 goal and I want to make profit. I want to pass the account. So I'm so worried about passing the account that I can't properly trade and just hold trades, take good trades. Like today, after this low was taken and I took the longs, I shouldn't have been looking for shorts, but I was so eager to try and make money. I was so eager to try and find a winning trade to grow my account, to get closer to the target goal, because I know tomorrow's Friday, and then that means I have a 2 day gap, and then I know that. So it's like I'm trying to speed the process up too much. I need to just focus on each trade each day, and I'll do better, but I just don't know how to get past that mental barrier of wanting to pass the account so badly, but also just doing the right things. And that's why when you're unprofitable, this is the hardest trading will ever be, right? And it sounds obvious, it sounds dumb to even say, but I've got to look at these days and be like, okay, this is the hardest trading will ever be for me. Having never passed a funded account, once I start passing funded accounts and start getting payouts, trading will never be this hard. It will never be this psychologically difficult to try and pass a funded in the future once I've already proven I can pass a funded. Doing something for the first time is always going to be harder than it ever will be again, right? Because then once you pass, you can, okay, I know it works. I know how to do this. I know if I stick to my rules, it works. I don't care about a loss. I don't care about how quickly I do it because I can always increase size the better I get. But the first time you do anything is always going to be the hardest. So this barrier, my account's at an all-time high. I've never been at $1,000. I've never been at about, my best ever funded was 1,200 something before I moved for a job. I ended up not being able to trade for a few weeks. When I started trading again, I blew that account because my psychology was bad again. But before that, my best ever was $800 on a funded. Before that, my best ever was like a 600, and then the first time I got above 600 again, I got to 800 3-4 times in a row. I'll get the 800, get a little bit more, blow the account, get back there quickly, blow the account. I would get back and find good trades quicker, but I've never been able to put a good, solid performance through the entire challenge all the way through. And it's because every time I break a new record or a new all-time high on my account, it's a mental barrier of I've never been this far. I don't want to let this go. I don't want to let this slip. I want to keep making progress. I don't even want to get negative ever again. I want to just keep going, and just get to that 3,000 as quick as possible. So trying to navigate those emotions has been really difficult because this is what I want to do full time, which is trading, and I know that I have to be profitable to do it full time, right? No one's going to pay me just to come on the charts and mess around. So it is a lot of stress mentally that I put on myself, and a lot of people probably put themselves to trade. And it takes away from the actual skill of trading because I'm so worried about things that don't have anything to do with trading. Me passing a funded account has nothing to do with the charts. Me making money has nothing to do with the charts. The charts do what they are supposed to, and you execute based on the charts, and you take setups, right? You're not getting into the market because you might get money. You make money because you took a good setup, if that makes sense. And there's just a lot of psychological roadblocks I'm running into because this is what I'm trying to do to make money long term. Not long term, well, long term, but in terms of this is how I want to get my start with making money. I want to make a lot of money trading. I want to do well trading, and knowing that that's what I want to do, knowing that I don't have a plan B. I don't have a business I'm working on. I don't have a plan B job. I'm not going to school. Like, all of that together is great because it gives me time to focus on this, but it also adds stress because when I sit here and know this is what I have to do, right? No one's forced me to do it. No one's making me do it. I don't have to do this, but since I don't have a plan B, which is fine, which is great, I don't have a plan B, and that makes it harder to get through these psychological barriers of passing a first funded, taking good trades, not worrying about a loss, because in the back of my mind, I know that until I start making payouts, I haven't made any money. I haven't gotten better in my mind. I haven't gotten better, even though I am getting better. So it's hard to view progress as not. It's hard to not look at progress as $sign and look at progress as taking good trades, holding properly, good risk management, good emotions. Those are the things that are hard when you're not profitable and become very easy once you start proving to yourself, right? If I was making money every single month, I was bringing a lot of money, it would be a lot easier to handle a loss than it is right now. And that's where I'm at right now. That's exactly how I feel. And I don't know how many other people are in this situation. I don't know if anyone's been in this situation and got through it, because that's the raw truth of where I'm at in my headspace, really, of trading. It's just, this is what I'm trying to do. I don't have a plan B. I'm not in school to have a safety net job, which, if you're doing that, that's great. It doesn't matter. You don't have to not have a plan B. It doesn't have to be that serious. It's just trading. But currently, that's what I'm doing. I didn't drop out of school to trade. I just didn't want to be in school in general, and then I found trading, right? But maybe I'm just taking extra time to get profitable because of these worries and psychological barriers I put on myself. But it's why these days feel extra hard when you fail, because I don't have the security of knowing, oh, well, I'm becoming a doctor, I'm becoming a lawyer. I don't need to trade ever. I'm just doing it because I like it, or because it's fun, or because I'm getting better at it, because maybe it's a side hustle. And I think that's the problem too. I think it's good to have money coming in, a lot of money coming in when you're trading, if you can. I don't think it's impossible to trade if you don't have a job, if this is your plan A. But I do know it's very easy. It's a lot easier if you had a ton of money to be able to sit there and be like, look, I don't ever need to make money from trading. I'm just doing it as a side hustle, and that's where I'm trying to just work through my psychology day by day. And the way that's going to work is just coming in here and proving to myself, passing the account. Which, again, it's hard to pass the account because of all the things on my mind before, but it's just proof of concept to myself. It's just like when you're training for a marathon or training in the gym. You don't think you'll ever be able to bench 315 pounds, but you go into the gym and then, you work with 100 pounds. And then, wow, I'm getting a lot stronger with this 100 pounds. I can do that a lot more. I hit 100 pounds for a lot of reps today. And then you come into the gym a few months later, man, 315, that's impossible. Other people can do it. You can do it as well. But it just takes a lot of time, a lot of repetitions, and proving to yourself. A better example is running, though. Like you're running for a marathon, man, that first time you hit a 3-mile run, maybe you never run before, you think, wow, 26 miles? Forget that. Or you do maybe even just 1 mile, and you're like, man, I'd have to run this 26 more times? That's crazy. I would never be able to do that. Or I'd never be able to hit the time I want to hit. And then you just keep training, and then you hit your first 5 mile, and you're like, man, that was great, that was amazing, but 5's nowhere near 26. And then you hit your first 10 mile, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself for hitting 10 mile. I've never hit double digit in miles on a run before. I just hit a double digit run. But wow, I'm gassed. I could not imagine running double that and some. So then you go there, but you keep building that proof of concept to yourself. So now you never ran 5 miles before, but boom, now you have 5 miles under your belt. And 5 miles was a lot, and then boom, you've hit a 10, so you just doubled it. And then eventually you hit a 20-mile run. Then you show up on race day, you hit that marathon, and then everything changes. It goes from something that was impossible to something you truly believe. That's that time you hit that 20-mile run, peak of your prep, you're done training for your marathon. Your marathon's in 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. You hit that 20-mile run. You've never done 26 miles, but you're going to do it, right? But when you hit that first 3-mile run, that first 5-mile run, 26 still felt impossible. And that's kind of where I'm at exactly with my trading. Is when I first started trading paper, it's like, man, like I just got a winning trade. And then, but I don't know if I can do that all the time. Then you do your first funded. It's like, man, I just took my first like real trade kind of on a funded account. Then it's like, I've actually started making progress on the account, then blew it. And then it's like, you just got to keep making proof of concept. And then eventually it's, oh, I've passed my first funded. I can probably get a payout. Or I passed a few fundeds now. Surely I'll get a payout. And then you just keep doing these things, and you keep getting better. And then eventually it just falls into place. And that's what I'm hoping, right? Because I'm not profitable right now, yet. Keyword yet. I'm not profitable yet. But psychologically, all I look at is that I'm not profitable. I don't look at the yet. I look at I'm not profitable. Will I ever be able to do this? Instead of I'm working hard, I'm showing up every day, I'm getting better, I'm learning. This is the result of that, right? When you're training for a marathon, you don't ever question if your legs can take you 26 miles. You wonder how long it's going to take you to be able to get to that 26 miles, and you wonder if you have the mental strength. That's all trading is. That's all any skill is you're here, you can get here. I'm here, maybe I'm in the middle. this is where I'm trying to get. I will be able to get there. I can get there. I just have to keep putting in work, keep showing up, keep staying disciplined, keep trying to work on myself, and I'll do something that in my mind is impossible, and I'll succeed, and it'll be a really good, journey. But yeah, I mean, I really am. I've been gaining a lot of confidence recently, but I've had a lot more anxiety with trading and stress since I've been at these all-time highs. Because of how long it's taken me to get here. I don't want to lose this account and then have to start over, because then it's like more and more time. But so I just want to be completely honest with how I feel with trading, and I just have a lot of doubt with myself right now that I'm trying to work through. And it's more fear. It's fear of what if it doesn't work, stuff like that. And that's lack of confidence, lack of screen time, whatever the case is. That's how I feel. I don't need people in the comments telling me why, or oh, you just don't trust your model, or oh, you just don't whatever. Cool, right? Like, that's the case. But I'm saying this is what trading is. This is what you go through as a trader. This is how you might feel. Maybe not everyone, but this is how a lot of people probably feel in trading, is just that doubt of, am I doing the right thing? Am I getting better? Will I be able to do this? What's wrong with me here? What's wrong with me there? Why is it taking me so long for this? Why is this so hard for me to grasp? Why can't I just do this? And there's all kinds of these little doubts that just fester in your mind, and you just have to look past them and keep working, keep improving, keep showing up. And yeah, so I just want to be completely honest with where I'm feeling, because again, this will be the worst I'll ever feel. This will be the hardest trading will ever be. The hardest trading ever was a few months ago. It will never be that hard again. Trading will never be as hard as it is right now, as long as you keep working, keep trying to get better, keep trying to build good habits. Trading will never get harder. It will only get easier. And that's why I'll leave you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we have a great day tomorrow. But yeah, peace out.